Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you to create a section for this particular page, or you can say a page template. It is a project page template. Okay, in this page you can show your project details and all the information about your past project which you have worked in the past. Okay, and this is from one of my project called ServBiz, which is a template kit for bricks builder at this moment. And I'm going to create this section for my project page for ServBiz, which has got the results, you can say outcome of the project, and these are the stats card, and this is the impact overview. So we are going to create this section using bricks builder and automatic css in this case. So let's begin. Let's jump on the bricks builder editor. So I have already added a section and a container and the section intro, where I've added the title and the description of this section. Okay, so next thing we need to add these cards. I will begin with this stats card. So let's add a block which will be a wrapper for these cards. Let's add a block again which will be results stats cards wrapper, and then a block inside this wrapper, result results stats stat card. Now let's create a BEM friendly class for this wrapper. This is for Synquin initial, and this is the project name initials ServBiz. So now let's see what are the components inside this card. The first thing is a number. So in this case I'm going to add a counter element from the bricks builder, and next is the normal text. So let's add a counter element, and then a normal basic text. Okay, I will call it description, and counter will be called same as counter. Let's create the class using the inbuilt ACS feature for creating BM class. Synquin ServBiz, and it's ready. Now let's add some grid. I will add grid 4. So there will be 4 cards. So I have already created the grid, and now let's work on this card. I will add a background color which will be a little different. I will go with the base color and base light, or maybe base ultra light for the background color of this card. And I will add some padding for this card. Let's add S, and I will add some border radius for this card. Let's add L. I will add some box shadow. Let's add 0, 5, 15, and RGB 0, 0, 0, 0.1. Now let's work with the counter. Let's see what we can do over here. Mm, let's see how it looks. Okay, fine. So we will work with the typography to make it look just like the section design. I have added a font weight to 600, and for the suffix I will add the same font weight 600. Let's change the color. Let's make it maybe blue, and let's increase the size to XL. Let's change the color to what it was default. Change this HTML tag to p tag, and add some text. Okay, it looks much better. Now change the row gap to small, and make the items inside card to the center, and same for the text. Now I will change the row gap to extra small. Now it is fine. Now let's duplicate this card 4 times. One more time. Okay, so the cards are ready. So the next section is an overview. Let's add a block for the overview and call it results overview. Let's check again how the design is. So there is a title, a description, subtitle, and some checklist. Let's add a heading element, then a description, and then a block, and a heading element again, then a list element. Okay, so let's work with the results overview. This is also a card, but I'm not naming it card because this is just a single card. Let's add some class, a BEM class, sequence initial, ServBiz initial. Sorry. First, we will rename the items elements we have added inside this card. So let's make it title, which I use on all my elements, heading elements. This is a description. Let's call it card title, and this is a list as it is. Now let's check again. All is looking good. Let's call it an info card. Let's add some classes. Sequence ServBiz. Let's remove the card from here because we will create a different class for the card. Okay, let's call it results, just to be consistent, so it doesn't interfere with the other blocks or other sections from the design from the website. Let's call it results info card. Now it's fine. Now let's add a background color same as the above cards. Base color base ultralight. Now add some padding. In this case I'm going to add M. Add some border radius, which is going to be L. And let's add a row gap for this M. So I'm going to wrap this title and description into a content wrapper. I will call it a content wrapper, and let's add a class for this content wrapper as well. Okay, so it's almost ready. So after adding the content wrapper for this title and description inside this overview, results overview, I will change the row gap from M to maybe extra small for this, and this two blocks will have a row gap of M, the content wrapper and the results info card. So add some let's adjust this list. First of all, we need to remove the separator. We're not going to need a separator. Remove the meta. I just need the title, and select an icon, which is going to be font awesome solid, and check. So we will be using this one. Okay, and justify the content, make it left. let's add let's make it initial, because we are going to need a padding on the left side, not on the right side. And add 10 pixel here. So now it is looking good. If you want to change the color of the icon, you can do it from here. Let's change it. Let me show you how. Just select the make it blue or yellow. Let's make it blue, because yellow is not visible on the wide screen. And just duplicate. Now we have 5 items over here. So we need to wrap this results info card into a wrapper, into a block. Let's name it results info cards wrapper. Let's add a class. Again, I will add my initials for my brand name Synquin, and ServBiz for this project template kit. And remove this, because I'm just going to need a class for this wrapper, not for the card. And let's duplicate this card, and let's convert it into a grid and 2 grids. It is looking almost similar, but also different. Let's add some shadow, box shadow. 0, 5, 15 RGB 000 0.1. So it is almost ready. Now let's add some row gap inside this card, and let's add a row gap, a grid gap for this entire overview card. Let's make it M, and let's change this H3 to H4, and it's looking good. Let's check how it is look on the front end. It is looking almost similar. Yes, almost similar, you see, but it's still different. If you want to see it clearly how it is looking, then let me add a dark color in the background. Let's make the section to primary color. Now see how it is looking as compared to the original design. Maybe we can increase the size of this counter. Let's make it double XL. Good. And maybe change the padding of the card from S to M to make it even better. And now it is looking much better. If you want to add the content, I will add the content from some other pages of this template kit to keep it consistent. Mm, let's add this one. Let's change it from div to p, and let's change the color of this section intro title so it should be visible. I have added some classes for that. Much better. Now you can see how it looks. mm, Results overview, and if you want to change this percentage to something else like X, you can do it from here. Suffix, just change the suffix for a particular card to X, and it will be like this. And yes, if you want to increase the size to match the original number, the digit, you can do it from here. Go to the suffix and add double XL. See, now it is looking much better. And I will also change the color of this typography to something light so it creates a contrast between these two. I will make it maybe base semi dark. Now see, it is much better. Business impact, operation impact. Let's change this as well. Business impact, and let's call it operation impact. These are just the names I'm using from the original design, but it is changeable. And if you purchase this template kit, this ServBiz template kit, which is going to be a universal template kit for all your service based business websites. Then you can change it to anything else, or even if you don't want to use this particular section, you can remove it and just use whatever you want. I don't like the color of this icon, so I'm going to change it. Let's make the background primary. Let's add a border to make it circle, and now let's change the color of this icon to the accent color. I like this one better. And that's it, the design is ready, and you have learned how to create it yourself. But if you don't want to create it from scratch, you can grab the template kit ServBiz from my store.syncwin.com. Thank you for watching this video. Let's meet again later.